wish I was kidding, but it genuinely is a Thursday and I'm starting this vlog on a Thursday and I'm shattered. It's after work and it's just every day after work. It's just been, you know? I've just finalized and uploaded the chapter 3 of the lore quest so I can actually release a little breath, because that was the biggest chapter and it required quite a lot of like, it's tiny things, but they like really add up somehow. Anyway, I really hope people are enjoying it, so it's like for something, you know. I don't actually have like a significant reading update either way, so you've not really missed much at all. I'm still reading Gender Games and I am actually nearing the end. I think I have like an hour left tops. I'm in the kitchen and I'm going to make some beetroot soup with turkey meatballs. This is a soup that my mum would make quite a bit, or variation of, but if I think I might have made it when I was a kid or like a teen, because I was like told to, but not really by myself, and I'm not going by any type of recipe, so we're really just gonna see how this goes. But I have this thing where I feel like I never have the correct size of pot, because this is massive, but then this for 2 people is just like not enough if we want to have like proper leftovers for the next day or 2 even. I'm now deciding how unhinged of a portion do I want to do. I think I'm probably gonna go with the big pot, but this is not the first time. Like, this is great for like pasta and stuff. Actually, you know what? This came in a set of these two. Functionality wise, I really feel like these do the exact same thing. Do you know what I mean? Because we have a third one, we have a tiny one, right? And this is for any type of like sauces that you need to do, or ramen. This is a perfect size for that, or boiling eggs, right? So that's your like small pot territory. Now these bitches are used for the exact same purpose. So I'm actually a little bit cross with whoever made that set that we bought, because we bought it with, I think it was just a set of pots. It was these 3. And I just want to say that I think the sizes are not well made, because that small pot that I just showed you, I got it separately because this is just too big for the usual purposes of a tiny pot. So anyway, now that you got that, I hope it helps. I wouldn't recommend these 2 sizes because both of them do the same job. I just need this, but that amount bigger. Like the difference between these 2, this needs to be bigger. Anyway, I'm so overwhelmed. I think I just need to calm down, because I was going 15 miles an hour with my brain today, just trying to do everything and everywhere all at once. Okay. Anyway, we have some turkey meatballs, and I don't normally get it pre-rolled. I'm like, how do you season? I mean, there seems to be some pepper in it, but how do you season it when it's pre-rolled? I'm cooking now. We have like a bunch of these like bags from we had Gusto, and sometimes we would not use the recipes in time, or just decide to kind of separate it into ingredients, and anyway just accumulate it. So now that we've stopped that, we're going like, we're not ever subscribing until we go through all of the previous stock. False alarm, I actually do have what I need for this, so this plan B can go back in the drawer. What I'm gonna be using is a couple of carrots. Those are quite small, so I might see if I want to add a little third one. I really can't grasp what the portion size is currently, but I'm gonna use a big ass onion and 3 question mark potatoes. However, I only have this much. It's like pickled beetroot. I only have this much, which I feel like would be okay for a regular portion, but I mean, it is what it is. I have some tomato paste that I found from the bag, so that's great. And currently salvaging what else I could possibly use that would kind of go with the palette, as if I know what the palette is, but we're gonna fake it till we make it. Girl boss and gaslight or whatever. This is like that TikTok when they go speaking French, c'est la vous, or whatever. I have some chicken stock that I can use up, and I think I'm gonna use some red wine paste to be a bit fancier. Whatever we add this red wine paste always ends up tasting so much better, so I'm just hoping this saves it. I'm gonna pop some bay leaves in there. I don't seem to have the mixed herbs, so that's fine. And for once, I actually don't think I'm gonna use garlic in this. This seems like an onion party. The sheer wish to add smoked paprika to everything in my genes, there's something about it. I don't know why, because we didn't even use that much of that growing up at all. It wasn't necessarily like a spice that we had. It doesn't look the most appetizing maybe, but I can't eat it just yet because it's too hot. I'm waiting for Logan to be done with his Helldivers. But whilst cooking and doing all of this, I did finish Gender Games and I really enjoyed it. It's more personal to the experience of Juno, which I think was actually very nice. I enjoyed the humor throughout. It was you know, very personal, and they didn't shy away from sensitive topics and very open, and talked very openly about it, but throughout it was a very accessible tone of humor, I would say, with a lot of valid points dropping in very often and frequently. So I really enjoyed that. It was interesting learning more about the author whose work I also really enjoy, because a lot of the time when I go for non-fiction memoir type of things, it's quite often people I have no prior knowledge of, and I like it that way. Favorite one still to date probably is I'm Glad My Mom Died, and I have never even heard the name of that person before. I know they were famous, but I've never heard of them, so you know, that kind of thing. I really wonder if you can hear Logan. I'm very sorry if you can. There's obviously, as the title would suggest, a lot of chat about gender, a lot of chat about feminism and how that is seen and what the role of men and women are. Within that, obviously, we established pretty early on gender versus sex. We talk about TERFs, we talk about language we use and what is considered and why some people find certain terms offensive and derogatory. It wasn't surprising, of course, because it is the title and the matter being discussed. What did surprise me is the amount of times, because I just didn't, purely because I didn't expect it, and also because I have never come across this being acknowledged as much as it was in this one, which is so random because I say as much, it's still, you know, like 5 times, but that's 5 times more than I have ever seen it anywhere before. And one of these things, which again just took me by surprise, was her talking a lot about Brexit, and it was including xenophobia against Eastern Europeans immigrating here, Eastern Europeans who already lived here, Eastern Europeans in general, and is one of the groups really disliked, and primarily in UK. And I think it is a very specific to UK thing, so it really makes sense that this author would mention it, because for class and xenophobia are just really, really thriving on this island. If you did not know, now you do. It made me feel acknowledged in that sense for the first time ever. I've never seen this mentioned anywhere, and for it to not be mentioned only once but multiple times, it was nice. And whilst it was obviously on a different topic and a different category, that type of inclusivity, it really showed me how inclusivity of trans people as well, or gender in general, is important. Do you know what I mean? Like the kind of parallel thing. You are not wearing pants.
Yeah, but I think from the angle it wasn't visible.
Ever since coming back from the vet, we always keep the carrier... Oh, good yawn. We always keep the carrier out for a couple of days because he always just likes going in there. But as soon as we actually take it out, he like panics and runs and hides. So this is like a delayed reaction. It's Friday. It's been a very hectic, very tired, well, not hectic, but very tiresome week. So I'm excited for the... I need to mark up everything we've passed so far because we're a little bit behind on the list. So we have just passed Art of Illusion with the word game or play in the title, and I also have not marked Lore yet, but obviously I have read The Legend of Dia. I've started listening to an audiobook of this book when I was doing my hair, thinking, oh, I'm sure I can find like a slot for it, just because I wanted to give it a go. A lot of people at work been talking about it and really raving it, and I thought I will give it a shot. The book is Crimson Moth. This, from the description, kind of reminds me a little bit of Serpent and Dove, which actually at the time of reading, I really enjoyed it. I don't think I intend on ever continuing the series. I'm content of where it kind of stopped at after the first one. But at the time of reading, I actually didn't mind it, which I don't know if I would, you know, now, but at that time I was like, yeah, good. It is about a witch and a witch hunter, and I think they're gonna be a bit like silly and naive, and I also absolutely love the cover. I'm not gonna lie, that does influence me. So the edition that I have would very much fit Conjuration, which is the color wheel for which I got color gray. However, I do also have Invocations, which I need to read for my book, for the Patreon book club, and I tentatively assigned Invocations for that. I also have Spells and Incantations remaining, which I have gotten the number 16 for the random number generator, and this, unfortunately, I believe is 14 letters, so doesn't quite fit, which is frustrating. And the only other one that I need is Astronomy, a Gemini recommendation, but I just don't think that that's going to be... I might pull up my laptop and check if I can find... I have found one on the Gemini list, and I feel like that was a while back, and now I don't know if I'll find it, but it was Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders or something like that. I can't remember. I don't have it physically with me. But it's one that I had on my radar, and I would be happy to try and read. However, as I said, I don't own it in any type of shape or form, but I can also look into all of the audiobook places that I have. Currently, I use Everand, which is known by Scribd, but also have just signed up to BookBeat, which I'll link down below. I think you can get like 2 months free with the link if you wanna. No pressure. We'll forgive it because it's an ambulance. Hope they're good. Well, they're not great, but I hope they're gonna be. Anyway, this website has Jade City for a Gemini recommendation, and I have already read that last month, so that won't fit. I'm gonna also, I find it more fun going onto the list of like Zodiac recommendations rather than Gemini, because I like going through the list and being like, oh, what are they gonna assign to Gemini? Oh, they have like a couple per person here. Okay, so on this website, rd.com, oh, and they also recommended like a genre thing, which is interesting. So Aries got action adventure, Taurus got romance, Gemini got LGBTQ books. Nice. Red, white, and royal blue, I have already read. Heartstopper, I have already. Ooh! I don't think I have read the newest Heartstopper. I don't think I own the newest Heartstopper. But I actually think that I haven't read Heartstopper 5. 7th of December 2023, so I've definitely not read it because that was just before. That was just, did you know that December 2023 is just before 2024? The more you know. I need to check because I feel like it's available as a webtoon. We'll see, but Heartstopper could be a way to go. Then there's A Lady for a Duke, which I do not feel like I'm gonna be reading. Autobiography also don't feel like. Never Kiss Your Roommate. And then back to Red and White and Royal Blue. If you're interested in Cancer, got women's fiction. Leo's got YA fiction. Virgo's got historical fiction. Libra's got biographies. Scorpio got mysteries. Sagittarius got graphic novels. Capricorn's got classic novels. Aquarius got science fiction. But Lady Logan always stealing my shit. Pisces got fantasy. Okay, going on to another one. That one doesn't have pictures, so I'm immediately out. Okay, I'm now on Hachette, Gemini. Preston and Child, The Cabinet of Dr. Lang. And How the World is Past. How the Word is Past. Can't read. A Fangirl's Opinion blog. Let's see what they have assigned to Gemini. Adaptable, intellectual, and cunning. One of Us is Lying. Funnily enough, I have actually read that a while back. And then I watched the show and it was good fun for when you know, are not in there to be philosophical and think deep. Red Queen I haven't read, but I have been really itching to try Realm Breaker. So I don't know. We could twist that, but that is quite a big commitment, and I feel like maybe going for Heartstopper would be a bit more achievable. And then once we have like extra time, if we have extra time, we can peruse other possibilities. Dark Shadow Magic, I did love. Wrath and the Dawn, I haven't read. And I still kind of wanna, but I don't feel like currently in the mood. To Stories in Space website. Rumor Has It. Never heard of it. Prep and Prejudice and something called Promise of Shadows. Oh, this is the list by Libby, the app. You Were Born for This, Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance. The Covenant of Water, and The Keeper of Lost Things. None of these do I know, nor really want to look into. Eliza, you're my last hope. Bunny! Okay, you know what? Fair. And I'll take that as a compliment because I loved Bunny so much. So much. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, I have already read it. So I was looking directly for the Gemini ones. Just trust me that it was there, because I definitely did not make it up. If I would have made it up, I would have made it up something a bit more convenient. But it is between, for that prompt, it's between Vera Wong or Heartstopper. I'm leaning Heartstopper, even though I do really want to try Vera Wong and I think it would be fun. However, from one of my other prompts, I also have a thriller-ish, and even though it's a different one, it's definitely not a cozy one like the other one is. A comic would be nice because I don't actually have any in here. So what I need to do is I need to try and find someone on my Discord, because I have 1, 2, and 3 Heartstoppers, and I did have the 4th one in paperback because I have the Fairload editions of the hardbacks. I don't have it, so I need assistance. Luckily, I know where to find it. Okay, hello everyone. Actually, this is not at all what I just set out to do. I sat here to just be like, okay, this book that I'm reading, what am I reading it for? And then decided, well, not decided, but realized that it doesn't actually suit anything. So if it doesn't fit anything mandatory, I guess we're just reading it for something on the side, which is not advised before you finish what you need. But let me check what else it can possibly fit. So, if it doesn't fit Conjuration, it doesn't fit Spells and Incantations, nor does it fit Astronomy. We have Yellow Title. Even the foil bits are like copper, rose gold. Book you did not pay for. Well, technically I paid with my labor. Because it is from work. But technically, that could work. So that would be Demonology. So if all else fails, we're gonna go for Demonology. Source of Light on the cover, not so much. Lock or Key, cover or title. There's a locket. Ooh, you know what? Also, it does have a reverse dust jacket, so I need to check if it doesn't have like a... It technically does have a moon on the reverse. And even though, if we're being technical, it isn't a source of light by itself, but it reflects light and is still a source of light to us. So I would count it. If I needed to. So that could be Elemental Studies as well. Lock or Key on cover, we said no. Inscription is literally just write down 3 titles and pick one. So I'm not gonna count that. I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna take that gamble just yet. A restoration book you think could cure slumps? Possibly, because I have literally heard from people that it is pretty quick and easy, and that's normally what you kind of look for. So it could be restoration, and then shape-shifting is read from an author who blurbed your last 5 read. I'm gonna say that I doubt it that's gonna be one of them, but I think I'm gonna go for Demonology, a book that you did not technically pay for. I really am just like 30 pages in, so I have just grazed the surface of this. This is how the sheet is looking. We have 4 out of 7, but really 3 because lore was the page that I have already read. Oh, update on the soup, in case you're wondering. Soup review. It's actually very nice, except for the meatballs. I actually despise them so much. I'm never buying them again, first of all. I don't know what sort of herb they put in it, but they definitely did. And it's one that I really dislike the taste of. I don't know what it is, which is also bugging me, but something they put in it, I really, really dislike the taste of. And it had like bits that really texture-wise did not agree with me. So never buying them again, eating around them, basically. And I think the next time I'm making it, I'm either just gonna not put anything and just keep it totally just vegetable soup, or I'm gonna put beans in for extra protein, which is still a vegetable. So that overall, I would say very, very nice, despite the meatballs. Even Logan didn't really like them, so that says a lot. I thought I should catch up a little bit with my crochet project. I don't know if you can see it, but there on a shelf is a stack. Oh, where? Oh, God. There on a shelf is a stack. There. Wow, that took a while. These. They're quite big. And I'm a little bit behind, not a lot, but this is prime time for me to actually do some audiobooking while I just turn my brain somewhat off and do things that require just like manual thinking rather than, you know, any type of other thinking. That's the hope. So this one's actually for Jade City, but I was so tired that night that I didn't even weave in the ends, which I am doing as I go, because otherwise I will just hate myself and never finish this. So I'm gonna start by weaving those in, but then, so the next thing on the list is actually this. God. It's ridiculous. So if you've missed it, how is it so heavy? This is the yarn basket that I've also crocheted out of the other yarn that I had. It really is like a hobby that keeps perpetuating itself, do you know what I mean? Anyway, so I have this whole thing, and I also actually need to do inventory, so I might do that whilst I do this as well. I don't know. Just so I don't run out of certain colors, or I can get them ahead of time. If I am running out, then I can order them ahead of time. I'm pretty sure it's 50% off currently, so I also kind of keep an eye on those. I've been sharing more of this on Instagram with like reels, and sometimes on TikTok. I'm really not great at uploading at TikTok. I think I might just be too old and too tired and too ill and may just need to retire. Who knows? It's been a conversation for years. But anyway, since you still got me, so the thing about the project that I do, I only have 2 rules, and those rules are no harsh white, so no true white and no true black. So this cover is a little bit tricky because I don't necessarily think that it is actually white. Looking at it now, I actually think it might be very, very light gray. So I might do that, but it makes me a little bit sad because I don't actually have a square yet which has the off-white, cream white as the base. So that's quite exciting to me because I get excited. This is how I'm still managing to continue with this project, is the fact that it's still exciting because I get to use this and find the yarn colors that I want to match. And the color matching apparently just brings me a lot of joy. The amount of hair, like the loose hair from my head that I have in here, is alarming. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit here and try and find some good colors that match. I actually think this one matches the teals really well. Bear in mind that I, of course, first of all, I only need 3 colors, so I have to pick the most prominent colors of the cover. I would say that obviously for the background, which would be the dark green, this one does have 3 colors, but it almost looks like 2, which is fine because the book cover actually does only have 2 colors. So that one was a tricky one. It's the one so far that's been like that. I do think I mean, I obviously could choose the colors of the accents, but I do like to make the main prominent color be the background. I do have some rules for this, I guess, because I have not actually been relaxed for a single day of my life. I do genuinely have a spreadsheet. There's that. Anyway, I should probably tell you a little bit about the book that I'm reading. So, Crimson Moth. Again, it is a witch and witch hunter type of situation. The witch, I believe, is also like a secret identity person. So I'm literally, you know how not far I am, so I don't think I can physically spoil anything for you. So I think I'm just gonna talk freely. The main character is kind of forced to give away her grandmother to the witch hunters to like prove that she's not a witch sympathizer, but obviously like she is. But the grandmother like says, you know, you have to do it, so they trust you, and then grandmother was already gonna be ratted out either way. So then we fast forward a little bit, and she's working as like a vigilante secret persona, I guess. The Crimson Moth is actually the name of this person. I'm not too sure what they do, other than I think they try to rescue the witches that are being caught and about to face trial, which we know how fair those trials are. So that's kind of the premise. I've literally, I think, only had half a chapter or something of the guy because it's going to be dual perspective, and that's all I know. So I think it's going to be a pretty standard setup though when it comes to that kind of thing, you know? The off-white I feel like is too warm and the light gray fits it much, much better. Where's that seafoam one? So we kind of have three options. We either go background, middle, petals, background, middle, petals, background, middle, petals, background, middle, petals. I mean, this color palette is very Holly Jackson branding, so I'm almost tempted for that. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is giving 3D glasses, color-wise. I don't love them together. I've never been a big fan of red and blue together. Now we just gotta decide which color I think we go for. I'm gonna go with the blue because we have the title and the bits here, you know. This is likely to be a very, very crucially wrong decision on my part for the readathon month, but here we go. Good morning, hello. I wanted to update you because I have finished the second read. It seems to be going kind of like 2 reads a week-ish, and I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Although the last week doesn't quite count because it was a DNF. And you know what? I had fun. I've not ran it through Compile yet, so I don't know exactly where my thoughts land because I've just finished this like late last night and it's literally early morning now. But pretty much what I said before, you know, it is a story about I'm just doing cuticle oil. It is a story about a witch and a witch hunter. I really liked that each of them had a little bit of a small friend group to carry them through this on each side. I actually really enjoyed it, and also enjoyed it that they were like relevant. They weren't just like there to be the crutch throughout it or like just to be a funny little sidekick. It was intriguing enough. I don't think this is gonna be my new absolute favorite, but I think that I kind of needed a read like this, and it was quite fun. I enjoyed the dynamics, the ending. The ending was funny because I was reading the very last couple of pages and I was like, I have read this before, and then I was like, why have I read this before? And I think there was like an opinion thing that we wanted from work, and I just read those couple of pages from the manuscript. But I thankfully forgotten that it was this book that I read it for because I haven't read the start. I literally read like the very end. But I had such a weird deja vu sitting in bed yesterday. I was like, I have absolutely read this scene. And it's like the main kind of peak climax type of scene. And I was like, oh, well, it's a good thing that I have a terrible memory. And I'm just like, oh, I completely did not flag it was this book. So all is well. But I just thought it was quite funny. And it definitely sets up for the second one. I think I will read it, but we'll see when that is in my hands how I feel then. Because sometimes I'm just content with have read the first one. So this could fall into one of those two. But I think I have enjoyed it more than Serpent and Dove. I'm gonna compare it directly. I know they're, you know, different in ways, but I do think that they are quite similar as well. It was very accessible. It does have some steamy scenes. I do want to say that in case you're going in thinking that it won't. But so did Serpent and Dove. But I would say this one may be a little. I actually don't know. Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it. It's probably going to be like a 3.5, maybe a low 4. I don't know if we're going to get quite there, but I'm very content with it, and I had fun, and it was a nice read. With that, however, we do get... What was this? Oh, this was not even related to my studies, was it? God damn. Okay. We said demonology. Okay. I'm about to wrap up, but I did want to show something exciting that came in the mail. Now, I'm not saying that I'm 100% going through with this because there's lots to consider, but I have had a secret. I have had a little secret. I was working on a pin with the pin designer, Chloe. I finally, because this has been in the works since January, I finally gotten a sample, and I want to share the sample with you. Again, I'm not saying that I'm going to release these, but I'm not saying that I'm not going to release these. Anyway, this is the pin. So it's obviously orilium, the floating castle with some, you know, purple, as you would expect, and black and gold. I think it's very pretty, but, you know, I'm a bit biased. But anyway, I wanted to share it with you because it brought me joy, so maybe it will be exciting to you, maybe not, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I, once again, don't even know what I filmed, what I didn't film. This seems to... Zeus! He's having his morning shout, I'm sorry. What'd you see? Oh, bird. I've been thoroughly enjoying playing Fallout, which has been terrible for my reading, but thankfully I've done like kind of like the quota that I'm happy with for my reading, so it's fine. This is gonna be probably a little bit tricky with me being in the game now, and I also have restarted playing Stardew Valley, which I can actually listen to some audiobooks sometimes around that. And then I also started playing Stardew Valley co-op. So this might go downhill from here, reading-wise. And we still have astronomy, conjuration, and spells and incantations to go through. So good choices overall. But anyway, I hope your reading is going well. Please let me know how it actually is going. And I will speak to you very soon. Bye!